more. Okay, well, here we are on the starboard side of the aircraft, so the opposite side obviously to the port where I was just a minute ago. And you can see here the guys are just loading into the bottom cargo hold at the moment. Basically after the show everything gets broken down. We carry all the backline, all the guitars, all the drums, all the PA and lights are supplied locally in the staging, and so we carry everything that the band needs to basically make the show happen. As you can see, a little bit clearer now at the back there, you can see all the windows are kind of boarded off. That's the area where the fireproof pallets are all stored, and it's all literally loaded through that little door at the back just under the fin. Obviously you have two areas here where they actually where your normal baggage would go, and so everything we carry basically is restricted by what can go through that little hole. And there's also one at the front as well, which is actually closed up at the moment. And basically what they have to do is they have to load guitars and things and a lot of backline in the back, but at the same time they have to load it in the front, because if they don't, when they take off all the luggage that we carry and bits and pieces, the plane would literally tip up like this. And so we have Captain John Mahon right here on the on this riser, and he's obviously doing his air flight checks as he does on everything else. This plane is basically exactly the same as a commercial aircraft. Every flight we have to go through the safety checks and everything else, just like a regular flight would do. So that's basically how the aircraft works. I mean, this is about 115 metric tons. You've got two Rolls-Royce engines with, I think they supply about 30 or 40,000 pounds of thrust each, I can't remember which. And we carry a lot of gear, 32 tons of petrol to get us from A to B. So today we're going off to Melbourne. Melbourne's about 3 hours away, and the tour carries on from here. Well, as I was explaining, we have a man on the plane to help us do all of this kind of stuff, and really I think it's probably the hardest job on the tour, to be perfectly honest. But we have Jeremy here from Rocket Cargo, and so Jeremy, can you just give us a breakdown of directly after the show, the whole stage gets broken down, and then you basically are charged to load up the plane. So where do we go?
Well, basically once the back line and the set are all broken, everything comes off the stage, put it on the truck, and then bring it straight to the airport, depending if we got customs or not. Offload into a warehouse and transfer the gear airside, where I then split it into front hold, rear hold, and we've got a special cargo compartment up top and main deck. So having split the three things off, we then load the forward belly first to keep the weight in the nose, then do the rear belly second before taking the other stuff up to load the main deck. And that's on little pallets where we then have to strap everything down with retainment nets, basically. And it takes, I don't know, 4 to 6 hours and about 2 to 3 hours to unload.
So is that 4 to 6 hours from gig to basically belly of plane?
Yeah. Today it was 4 hours. If we had to go into a warehouse, because we were able to unload the truck here airside, but if we had to go into a warehouse, that normally adds another couple. So yeah, we're looking at a 6 hour load.
And obviously when we do international flights, you've got to go through the entire, basically the bands have to, or the equipment has to have a carnet for each country. Yeah. So what happens with that? I mean, that obviously must take a bit longer if they want to go through all the gear.
Absolutely, but everything's been properly manifested and we know exactly what's in which piece, so it could, in certain countries, certainly in South America, there might be an issue if they do want to go through everything, but at the same time, if they do, it just add more time. Everything's good. So I know this stuff. I know your stuff like the back of my hand now.
Well, as you've just seen, we've done a very unusual photo shoot. I mean, once again, the Perth Aviation Authority has been very understanding and let us shoot the guys in front of the plane. So we're just actually wheeling the stairs back now, and then we'll hawk the crew out, and off we go to Melbourne.